What illegal things are so common they seem legal? It is illegal to honk a car horn anywhere in New York City for non-emergency situations. The penalty is a $350 fine. Speeding. I was parent taught for driving and my parents told me it's okay to be 5 over but not 10 over. Lemonade stands. In a lot of states, it requires a permit to have one. They don't wanna arrest every child in the states. Driving with dark tinted glass. You see it so much that so many people don't realize that a lot of states have a legal limitation to how dark you can tint them. Cops don't really enforce it, but they can use it as a reason to pull you over if they wanted to. I purchased a car with windows that were already tinted. A few years later, I was pulled over for it. The officer said, "We normally don't pull people over for this, but we just got these new tint testers in." Hanging things from the rearview mirror. Sending somebody pictures of your private parts without their consent. I think a lot of people don't know it's illegal, but you could actually report it to the police. If you're underage and you send nudes, you can be charged with distribution of child pornography, and if you receive and keep these photos while also being underage or legal, you can be charged with possession of child pornography. This is in Ireland. In the UK it's illegal to be drunk in a pub. Section 12 of the 1872 Licensing Act stipulates that every person found drunk on any licensed premises shall be liable to a penalty. Same in Texas. It's actually illegal to be drunk anywhere other than your home. Traveling in basketball. Well, in my town the underage usage of marijuana isn't exactly frowned upon anymore. Me and my group often just chill at the park and smoke. The cop that sat ways down there issued us a very stern warning: you can smoke but none of you are driving until you check with me, and as long as we check in and pass a coherence test we're good to go. IDK, why it's so lax, but I'm not complaining. Well, the cop knows you're being safe and builds good rapport with you and your friends. It's a win-win in his eyes most likely. Bring him some donuts or a coffee next time you see him. We have on like 3 separate occasions. It's his birthday tomorrow, so we're getting him a cake. Would you like me to say happy birthday for you? Not wearing a helmet while riding your bike. At least in Croatia. In France, it's illegal to be in a public place, street, garden, etc. with less than €0.98 in your pocket. It's called vagrancy. It is illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament. Can just imagine an MP dying of a heart attack being dragged out by their legs. The law was made because technically, anyone who dies in the hop is entitled to a state funeral, which is expensive and a lot of hassle. So naturally the only sensible thing you can do is ban people from dying there. Jaywalking. Telling employees not to discuss their pay. I didn't know this was a thing until I had told my boss that I thought it was unfair that my coworker who slept and texted on the job was being paid the same as me and I did double the work. He eventually got fired for not showing up and I got a raise. Holding a salmon suspiciously. Us Brits have the best laws. It's extremely enforced in Europe. And it actually applies to USA road law, on a multi-lane road. The rightmost lane is for cruising, and the left lanes are for passing only. It's not enforced here because literally everyone breaks this law. And cops can't do it about it. That's what I understand about it. Anyway. In Sweden, it's forbidden by law to be a criminal. An old law in Seattle, WA, USA is that people have to call the police department to inform them of the crime you plan to commit. Gotta love stupid laws. Escort services advertise in the phone book. Hard to imagine drug dealers doing the same thing for very long. In the state of Victoria in Australia, it was illegal, until recently I believe, to change your own light bulb unless you're an electrician. It was one of those old laws that made sense at the time but seems ridiculous now. There's an old blow law in MA, the state I grew up in, that if you ride a horse to school, the school is obligated to stable it for you. During my freshman year of high school, A senior decided to do exactly that. He lived on a horse farm and was an experienced horseback rider. So he showed up one day on a horse with a copy of the old law in his pocket. The horse was tied up in the athletic field all day and all gym classes were held inside. To this day, it's the best senior prank I've ever heard of, let alone seen myself. It's pretty common around where I live for people to go with the flow of traffic even if everyone is speeding. I've driven in some areas where pretty much everyone around me was going 75-80. People will even argue that cops will not pull you over because it is safer if everyone is just going with the flow. That is not true. They can and will still pull people over. Adultery in 20+ states in America. I didn't know weed was illegal until I was 12 because everyone in my area had some randomly growing in their garden and I just thought nothing of it. Pirate Bay. In Florida, everything is legal. In Florida they barely follow the laws of physics. Watching porn before you're 18. It's not illegal though. Age restriction are there because it's illegal to distribute porn to persons under the age of 18. Actually viewing porn while under 18 is not illegal. Depending on where you live. Of course. In Maryland, it's technically illegal to spit on the sidewalks. It should be enforced more. Spitting everywhere is gross.